In the first pitch of the ball game from the 24-year-old southpaw down low. Ichiro 0 for 4 in game 1. Bartolo Colon was just outstanding, as was Chris Jakubauskas. That's up high in the count, 2-0. Ichiro comes in hitting at 308, a couple of homers. He's driven in 6. He has faced Danks 8 times and he has 1 hit. He has 2 hits and 9 at bats. JD quickly gets over, cuts it off, so the leadoff man aboard.
They have a world of possibilities with Endy Chavez coming up next. Danks gets a fastball down low, and Ichiro ahead in the count, looking fastball. Doesn't matter where you throw it to him, he just hits it hard.
That's the thing with him. You have got to get on top of each one. If you get 2-0, 3-1 against him, he's going to put a different swing on. He's not going to be running and swinging at the same time. It's 2 different swings he uses. So here is Endy Chavez hitting at 325. He was 1 for 4 in the opener, had a bunt single. Josh in on the grass at third as the outfield, about equidistant, swung around to the left, and they're spread out.
Chavez is going to bunt at least once a game, but he's going to show bunt a lot more than that so he can keep them in at the corners.
Pretty good lead. As there's the strike, and the count evens at 1.
This has not been an explosive running ball club, but they run pretty well when they do. 12 steals in 18 attempts.
There's a bunt. Somebody's got to hurry. Johnny, guns over. Nice play, Johnny Danks. Mercy.
When that bunt was laid down, you didn't think there was any chance to get a very speedy Endy Chavez. John Danks just came in, took his time, and fired a strike. Betterment makes the play. Good effort by John Danks, and he does indeed have him by a half step.
That'll bring up Mike Sweeney. He was 0 for 1 in the first game. Pinch hit against Bartolo and struck out. 35-year-old veteran, and when he was wearing that Kansas City uniform was one of the biggest Sox killers in the American League. Here at beautiful USA Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Two and 0 the count.
Sweeney spent so many productive years with Kansas City. The only thing that really stopped him was a whole lot of injuries toward the last couple of years. Came over from Oakland, and he looks like he's in the best shape he's been in a long time. He's a lot thinner than he was.
There goes Ichiro. No throw. So he picks up his 3rd stolen base.
That's as a result of not looking back a couple of times, and Ichiro, a very smart player, picked it up. You see John Danks, as soon as he moved his head forward, Ichiro just took off because he hadn't shown 2 looks to second.
Now the infield comes in. And that's a base hit. Neva's going to score anyway. Ichiro, one of those guys that always checks his outfielders, and Seattle takes a quick 1-0 lead.
For Sweeney, RBI number 4. And it looked to me like AJ wanted it low and away. That ball wasn't in a bad spot, but it was very hittable even with a shattered bat.
So here's Beltre. Hitting at 167, he was 0 for 4 in game 1. Takes a breaking ball strike. Beltre still looking for that first homer.
If John's going to stay inside on him at all, then the left side of the infield better be ready.
Beltre is 3 for 8 off Danks with a homer. Mariners come in at 12 and 8. Starting today, they had a 3-game lead in the West. Good rip underneath it, fouls it back.
AJ wants it inside. John Danks makes a pretty good pitch. Fortunately, it looked like Beltre might have been pulling off just a touch.
Thank goodness. Just enough.
That had a lot of the plate.
Yep. Take your time. Now do it. All right. And that will end the inning, but Mariners come up with a run after a half inning of play. As Seattle won, and the good guys coming to bat.
Is Anderson, Fields, and Quinton 1 through 3, followed by Dye, Konerko, Przinsky, Betterman, Ramirez, and Lillebrick. U.S. Cellular starting pitcher is Felix Hernandez. At 23 years old, he is the ace of this staff, and he's a dandy. He's got great stuff. You see a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Those are pretty impressive numbers for the young man.
6'3", 225 pounds, as there is strike one to Brian Anderson. And Felix out of Valencia, Venezuela. Beautiful little town, 2.5, 3 hours from Caracas. That's inside. Everything about Felix Hernandez stuff is plus. He's got plus fastball, plus curveball, plus changeup, plus control. Everything is plus.
At 23, you figure the sky's the limit for him.
2-1 to count. Brian, a couple of years ago in Felix's rookie season, we go out to play the Mariners, and I believe it was his 4th start in the big leagues. And that's low. He had not given up an extra base hit.
Well,
Jermaine Dye blooped one into right field for a double. That was the first extra base hit he gave up. And then Brian Anderson hit 2 home runs off of him in that ball.
I saw that game on television. I couldn't believe that he could get around on the high heat that Felix was throwing that day.
There's a chopper. 1 out.
The Lowe's defense and how they'll line up behind Hernandez. Left to right, Valentin, Chavez, and Ichiro Suzuki. In the infield, Beltre, Betancourt, Lopez, and Branyan. Jamie Burke gets a nod behind the plate, and the aforementioned Felix Hernandez.
Yeah, Brian got him that night on a fastball and a curveball. One of the few curveballs that he got up a little bit. Wasn't a hanger, but he just up. So here's Josh. Takes first pitch strike. Josh was 0 for 2 in the first game. Lifetime against Felix is 2 for 4 with a homer. And that catches the outside corner.
Right now, I don't believe he's throwing as hard right now as he's going to throw in a couple of innings. And it's still a fairly easy 91-92.
Well, to the eye, it does not look like he is as quick as he normally is. The 1-2. Off the fist. Knocks it down, slows it up, bare hands. And still gets it. Nice play.
I think Josh would have had to gotten spun around in the batter's box, because otherwise you figure he's going to beat that play. Not fielded well by Hernandez. Nice effort by Lopez, and he gets it there a half step ahead of Josh Fields.
Got to go 1-4-3 and bring up Carlos Quentin. Carlos hitting at 250. 7 homers and 14 knocked in. Carlos 1 for 3 in the first game. Takes first pitch strike. Felix is 42 and 36 in his very young career.
It's pretty impressive, and at 23 he's got a lot of room to grow.
That ball hammered into left field, hung up just enough for Valentin to make the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning, and after one it is 1-0 Mariners.
Areas like the fan deck, warning track, or an individual game diamond suite. Place your order today by calling 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
It is 1-0 Mariners here in the top of the second inning. Just the third run that Johnny Danks has given up this season, and this is for start, which encompasses 20 innings. Curveball strike. So Jose Lopez hitting at 227, a couple of homers. He's knocked in 12. That's into left field. Carlos is there. And a reminder that one lucky fan tomorrow, one lucky fan in attendance at tomorrow's game against these Mariners, will win a bat signed by both Paul Konerko and Jermaine Dye, commemorating their recent milestone home runs. And fans that don't already have tickets can save up to $10 on tickets to tomorrow's game by entering $300 in the promotions and special offers box. And to buy tickets now, visit whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. Quite a prize right there.
It's beautiful, and to have both of them sign it, that would be an impressive thing to take home and put it up on the wall.
For the kids and the grandkids. Baseball history. 1-1 the count to Russell Branyan, hitting at 292 with 4 homers, and he's driven in 9. 2-1. Sox won the opener 2-1 if you're just tuning in. Bartolo Colon picking up his second victory of the season.
And he threw a brilliant ball game. Unlike his last outing in Baltimore, he hit just about every spot and went up by design and threw it by a whole lot of these hitters.
And his counterpart, Chris Vasquez, was amazing. He went 8 innings and he only had base runners in 1 inning. That was the 4th inning when we scored 2 runs. So a 2-run, 2-out double by Paul Konerko.
Well, it's odd because he actually outpitched Bartolo and came away with the loss. But he was brilliant today.
That's tough. Put it in your pocket, right off the end of the bat. Little swinging bunt.
Sometimes there's absolutely nothing you can do. And with the defense playing well back all the way around, Josh Fields takes a look and wisely doesn't do anything with it.
So here's Ballantine. He was 0 for 1 in the opener. Hitting at .333, he has a homer. Outfield spread out. He had 7 home runs last year with Seattle. He had 18 down at Tacoma.
Well, there's no doubt that he can put a charge into it. With the infield back looking for 2.
Banyan, that's a decent lead. He is 1 for 1 in stolen bases this year. Russell at Warner Robins, Georgia. Good changeup, good motion right there. Of course, Johnny Danks out of Round Rock, Texas.
You see the grip on it? It's pretty much a circle change. And you see Ballantine well out in front of it. That means that the arm velocity and the location were right where it had to be, along with the release point.
Pretty good pitch right there, didn't get it. AJ giving Mike Estabrook a little lip right there.
You see for the changeup, that's high 3/4. It looks just like a fastball to the hitter. And then it's just not there when you're ready to swing. Branyan, originally out of the Cleveland organization, just one of many sluggers that the Indians either brought to the major leagues or traded away at a young age because they had a logjam in certain positions.
And that's by Josh Fields. Big difference in 2-1 and 1-2. Somebody from the White Sox dugout, I think it was Ozzie, yelling out at Estabrook.
This one just makes it by Josh Fields. You see where he lines up and can't get to it.
So 2 on, 1 out, and that'll bring out the shortstop, Unieski Betancourt, hitting at .254. No homers. He's driven in 6. He just missed a 3-run homer in game 1 by not a whole bunch. It was close.
There you look at the season. Not much power, but the ball that he hit in the first game had plenty of length.
Last year, 7 homers and 51 driven in. And that changeup outside. So 1-1 to count.
You got to try to walk him. He hasn't had a walk this year.
How many has Ichiro had? There, we're going to have a little double steal action right there. About the same amount as Ichiro, huh?
Well, they're right now tied at 0. Both guys that haven't seen a pitch they don't like.
That's right. It's that old saying, every pitch is mine until I see it's not. Somebody, okay. Long set. And he swings at a pitch up and away. So the count 1-2 for the 26-year-old shortstop.
If you're not hitting and you don't have any walks, everybody is talking to you about being more selective. Take your time, be selective, work deep in the count. But if you're hitting, like Ichiro, they say just put my name in the lineup and go out there, son, swing the bat.
Not a word said. That's up high, 2-2. Yeah, baseball, in certain respects, is amazing. It's an amazing game from a lot of coaches' standpoints, a lot of managers' standpoints. It's very, very tenuous in some cases. 2-0, 1 out, to 2-2, and that's slap foul.
Well, we know one thing, Hog. Pitchers are supreme athletes, no doubt about that, but occasionally they will allow themselves to get a little heavy. Now, I've never seen a guy that was too fat that was consistently winning 20 games. But if you only win 5, they'll talk to you about it. Lose some weight, get in shape. That's the reason you're only winning 5.
Yeah, the things that come up. That ball hit into left field deep. He looks up, and you can put it on the board. That is a 3-run homer, the first of the season for Betancourt. And it's a 4-0 Seattle lead.
Looked to me like that was a straight change. And Betancourt now has driven in 9 to go with his first home run of the year. Well, that was a changeup that he wanted low and away, and when you get it up and out over the plate, even the little guys can hit him out.
Well, that's what 2 years ago John was trying to learn how to control that changeup, keep it down, because every time he got it up, he just got hammered. First pitch down low to Jamie Burke, who is 0 for 9 on the season. A 4-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. The only real bad thing about that is Felix Hernandez.
He doesn't give up too much. But we've seen stranger things. You keep expecting a blowout. It's a pitcher's duel. You expect a pitcher's duel, and it's 16-11.
The 2-2. So that is out number 2.
That 16-11 game we mentioned was a Red Sox victory over the Yankees during their sweep of the Yankees at Fenway. And you had A.J. Burnett going against Josh Beckett. You figured it has to be a 2-1 game. You got two guys like that out on the mound. They both give up 8 runs in 5 innings.
First pitch strike to Ichiro, who singles sharply. 2-0 count. Well, that little swinging bunt by Branyan. And the ball just outside. Just a couple inches outside the range of Josh Field. And then the 3-run homer by Betancourt. Oh, and 2 the count to the 35-year-old Ichiro Suzuki. And that'll do it. couple of strikeouts, but the 3-run homer by Betancourt, it is 4-0 Bad Guys. Hernandez, who is 3-0 with a 3.12 ERA, he's got a 4-run lead as we get set to go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Dye, Konerko, and Pierzynski.
One of the problems the Sox have, Jim Thome out of the lineup with a sore heel. He's a guy that's hit Hernandez the best. 5 for 8 with 3 home runs lifetime. But you can't hit from the bench.
It's difficult.
Difficult.
The 0-1 pitch. The ball hammered foul. Boston leading Cleveland 7-3. That game in the top of the third inning. They're trying for their 12th straight victory.
Right now the Red Sox are getting it all, Hawk. They're getting terrific hitting and the pitching that they expected to get all the way along.
Jason Bay has really been the man, along with Kevin Youkilis, lately. I was listening to a game going home last night. It was 0-0. It was just a real good ball game until the top of the 9th inning. That's just foul. Gary Wood comes on, walks the leadoff hitter. Another man gets on, and then Bay takes a fastball. 97 out of there, deep into left center field. Full count.
That was a 2-2 changeup from Hernandez. That ball missed by plenty.
That's out. 1 out. So with 1 out, let's check out our Heineken picks to click this evening. John Walsh, Joe Grube, and all the guys, the crew. Well, they're going to go with Alexei, and Lisa, Layla, and Steve. They're going to go with A.J. Pierzynski.
My dogs and I are in a terrible slump in this game.
You are.
We're looking to break out of it, but we've been in a slump.
Terry Hanley and all the good folks out at Bolingbrook and I. That ball hit hard but foul by Konerko. We're going to go with Wilson Bedeman.
There's a look at Wilson waiting to get his opportunity.
And that's out of play right side. That fastball at 93. And that's top foul. As I mentioned, Hernandez out of Valencia, Venezuela. Played there my first year in Venezuela. Beautiful little town. Right outside of Valencia, there's this huge lake. Been on a couple of the off days, the owner of the club would have us out, and we would go water skiing. And it was interesting because we were not supposed to go to one section of the lake over there.
It's where the alligators were?
The crocodiles.
I figured something was there that
so
we're going to make you lunch if
we
you
didn't
drifted
believe
over
it, so we had to try it, and all of a sudden we get over there in the DMZ, so to speak. And it was interesting. When you're water skiing and all of a sudden about 10 feet away you see about 3 or 4 crocodiles about 8 or 9 feet.
Really gives you a great incentive to stay up on your skis.
Yes, it does. You will not allow yourself to fall. Breaking ball. Paulie knew it. 2 down.
This looked like a pretty good curveball. Stays right over the top. That one just split the plate. Not much you can do about it. Ball just got outguessed. That's one of the things that the new skipper, Don Wakamatsu, said. He challenged Felix. He said, are you going to be the 9 and 11 Hernandez with that stuff, or are you going to be King Felix that I keep hearing so much about? Because the sky's the limit with this guy.
AJ, a little soft toss. And that'll do it. 6 up, 6 down. And Hernandez leads at 4-0.
Game tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to get the best seats available. To purchase your 2009 individual game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
It's a 4-0 Mariner lead. Top of the 3rd inning. First pitch curveball to Indy Chavez, who had a sacrifice bunt. Josh in on the grass at 3rd. As the count evens at 1. St. Louis shutting out Atlanta 1-0 top of the 7th down in Georgia.
St. Louis won that game 3-1 yesterday. Cardinals playing real good baseball right now.
Solid. They're playing solid. And that's foul. So 2-2 the count. Yeah, St. Louis is playing. I was talking with a scout yesterday, as a matter of fact. And there's a ball. It's deflected a little bit. Now, nice pickup right there by Alexei, and they get it. Beautiful play.
Especially important to lead off the inning with a guy who can really run, and you retire him. Ramirez does a great job after the deflection. He's got to get rid of it quickly, and he does, and gets him by a half step.
This guy was telling me he's seen St. Louis, and they're just not beating themselves. They're playing solid baseball.
Well, they also have that guy in the middle, Al.
He's okay.
Al Pujols.
Big Al can get it done.
He can really hit.
He can get it done. Sweeney with an RBI single. Pops this one up right side. Betancourt. 2 down. And that'll bring up Beltre. Cardinals are 14-6 coming into today. Pittsburgh 11-8.
Paul Maholm has taken over as their ace of the staff and done a terrific job. They had a bunch of left-handers that you thought would all come together as a staff. Gorzolani and Dukes had their problems, and now it's Maholm as the ace of the team.
We're going to play Pittsburgh this year. In Florida, they started off 11-1. They are now 11-8.
Well, listening to a few Florida people, they said, look, we were never good enough to be 11-1, nor are we good enough to go through, bad enough to go through this kind of losing streak. So somewhere in the middle is our team.
Well, that old saying in baseball, really, for the most part, holds true. You're never as good as you look when you're winning, and you're never as bad as you look when you're losing. And for the most part, it holds. Sometimes it's true. Easy inning right there. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. Bulls continue their fight with the defending world champion Celtics on the west side. Coverage starts with Bulls pregame live. Bulls Celtics Game 6 Thursday night at Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Watching Felix Hernandez turn around. His jersey's a little blousy. He looks a lot like Freddie Garcia. Look.
Not quite as big as Freddie. Felix 6'3", 225. Freddie's a big man. As Betancourt cannot get it. Felix has retired the first 6 he has seen. So that means in this game, in this doubleheader so far, we have been to the plate 10 innings. And of the 10 innings, we have been retired in order 9 times.
And we're 1-0 to show for it. Although we've got some coming back to do against a pretty tough right-hander.
That's low. Outfield about equidistant. Spread out slightly to the left. Beltre well off the line at third, as is Branyan at first. One out. Well, Boston was leading 7-3 at Cleveland. Top of the third inning and the bottom of the third inning is now tied at 7.
There's a look at strikeout number 3 for Hernandez. So maybe Alexei can break up the charmed life Hernandez has led.
Alexei is 2 for 3 lifetime off Felix. Make that 3 for 4. So you can cancel a post-game show.
Well, Ramirez got a fastball to his liking, just drilled it back up the middle. He was 0 for the first game, but that's a ringing base hit. So now the Sox have some speed aboard.
There is Lillibridge. He was 0 for 3 in the opener. Pretty good lead. It's not a good swing.
Looks to me like Brent couldn't pick that ball up or realized at the last instant that it was going to be in the zone and took the emergency hack with no contact.
Well, Brent pops this one up. Middle of the diamond. Beltre. 2 down. Brent now 5-35. And here's Bryant. Bryant grounded out to Beltre, leading off the bottom of the first.
Outfield straightaway, not overly deep, and Hernandez is taking a tremendous amount of time. Now calls Burke out. There's nobody at second, so you're using a very simple set of signs. But apparently he just didn't want whatever Burke was calling for.
BA goes through that one.
Anderson's had a pretty good run at it, especially recently.
And that is down low.
Well, you'd like to stay in a position against Hernandez where he can't use that over the top curveball. And if you're behind, he's probably going to use that on you.
Watch out. So 1-2 to count to Brian Anderson. There he goes. And that pitch fouled away. In the finale tomorrow afternoon of this series, it'll be Gavin Floyd against the southpaw Eric Bedard, former Baltimore Oriole.
Bedard is now healthy. But that trade with Baltimore was very one-sided in favor of the Orioles. However, when Bedard is healthy, he's one of the better left-handers around.
Well, this year he's 2-1 with a 2.08 ERA.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Once again, there goes Alexei. He's going to pick up his 4th stolen base in 4 attempts.
Well, that's one of the things that Ozzie had in mind when he made out his lineup, put Ramirez toward the bottom along with Lillibridge. Get speed at the bottom. Can earn you as many runs as speed at the top.
Strikes him out. That's the fourth strikeout for Hernandez, and he leads it 4-0. For our Sox here in the top of the fourth inning, it will be Lopez, Branyan, and Valentin. Lopez takes ball one. He's 0 for 1. Went out to left field. Outfield spread out about equidistant. That is just foul. And checking some of our White Sox minor league report games yesterday, Charlotte had an off day. Birmingham won 4-2. Birmingham, the Barons, are 12-5 in first place down in that league.
Watching them in the spring, Hawk, you knew that was going to be a loaded baseball team, and they're probably going to get a little bit better as the year goes along, and all of their young players start to get quality at bats.
And there's a little flipper base hit in the left field.
Cue the Ducks. One former Mariner manager was a National League MVP winner.
That'll bring up Russell Branyan, who started off that 3-run second with a swinging bunt cued right off the end of the bat down the third baseline. But at Birmingham, Ryan Almagrosso is the winner. He's 2-0. C.J. Rutherford on a 7-game hitting streak. He was 2 for 2 with a homer, his second. Brandon Allen hit another homer, his third. And Diane Viciedo, 3 for 4 with a home run, his first.
That's the first of many, I would believe, as strong as he is.
Brandon can't get that one. Winston-Salem won 9-2. Jordan Danks was 3 for 5 and scored 3 runs. He scored 18 runs this year.
He's having a tremendous run at it.
Danks hitting .333, couple of homers, 12 RBIs, 4 for 4 in stolen bases, 18 runs in 19 games.
Some pretty impressive numbers. All John has to do is throw one high fastball, and he's going to throw it by him.
Don't miss down.
Well, A.J. is patting the glove like he wants that curveball down. Looks over in the dugout, and I'm thinking they're saying fastball up, but we'll see what A.J. calls. That's a fastball up and in.
Long set, too long for Branyan. Another long set. Lopez 0 for 1 in stolen bases. One thing that was not talked about enough in that first game was what a fine job Corky Miller did behind the plate.
He did a great job of blocking low pitches. Called a good game.
That's a fair ball. So now trouble brewing here in the top of the 4th inning. Ducks on the pond, nobody out.
Well, that bat shattered and the head went out to second base, as Branyan, who normally is a pull hitter, just took this one right down the line. See, that ball was belt high, and you got to get up a little higher if you want to throw it by him. Branyan is strong enough, even with shattering the bat, being left just with the handle to get it down the line.
So the 7th hit, and that'll bring up Vladimir Valentin. He singled into left field, and he scored in the 2nd. Ramirez and Lillibridge halfway at short and second.
I would doubt, with nobody out, even though it's the bottom part of the order, that they would have the contact play on, where it's run, if anything, is hit in the infield.
That's a high pop up in the right center field. Lopez is tagging Jermaine. Branyan's tagging. Now Jermaine's going to go to short, so Lopez will score, and it's a 5-0 ball game.
Only the 2nd run batted in this here for Valentin. And Jermaine made the wise play. Got the ball into second base. There was no way in the world that he was going to get Lopez out at the plate. DJ Carrasco loosening up in the bullpen.
And here's Betancourt. Cranked out his first homer, that 3-run shot in the 2nd.
Big number of pitches for John Danks as he's struggled into the 4th inning tonight.
Yeah, Johnny, for his first 3 starts, just outstanding. What's the most consecutive outstanding starts that you have, that you can recall? I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about outstanding.
Well, outstanding starts, maybe 4 or 5.
There's a base hit. So Branyan will pull up. Now runners at the corners went out.
Again, bear in mind, we didn't have the quality pitching outing that they
No. I'm talking about in your mind. Now, that does not mean you're good stuff and you're good at control. I'm talking about it might have been a game that you really had to battle your behind off because you didn't have your good stuff. So that would be an outstanding start.
I think it's hard to put together a whole lot of those because there's so many different aspects of every start. I mean, you'll make some good pitches. All of a sudden, you'll have great stuff for a couple of innings, and nobody can explain why your stuff leaves you. Now you've got to really battle and change your game plan. Sometimes right in the middle of an inning. Sometimes you just stop getting either the curve or slider over the plate. You don't know why. And if you can hang around long enough, it probably comes back to you. But some guys, especially young pitchers, they don't have everything together on a given night. It really doesn't come back to them too often. And so the meeting at the mound is over.
I'll tell you, the most consecutive or the most consistent starts that I have ever seen a guy have in all my years in this game. Guys that I've played with, guys that I've played against, guys I've been watching, 35 years in broadcasting, was Esteban Loaiza when he was with us. It was amazing how consistent he was, start after start after start after start after start. He only had like 3 bad starts that whole season.
How about the run by Contreras when he was winning all those games?
No, Esteban Loaiza was the most consistently good starts and stuff going out there each and every start.
What was the difference for him that year? Was it that he started cutting the fastball?
Cut the fastball. He could backdoor. He could backdoor the left-hander anytime he wanted to. Now that when you can do that, you can grab that first pitch strike, or you can put away pitch, strike him out. That's pretty awesome. As that is down low. Burke struck out his first trip, but I have never seen a guy that consistent in one season. That year he lost 2 1-0 games. He lost 1 2-1 game, and I believe 2 3-2 games. Two and 1 to count. 5-8-0 for them. 0-1-0 for us. So far, we've had a total of 3 hits in this doubleheader. No, when he won 17 in a row, he was just outstanding. But Loaiza, to me, that was the best I've ever seen.
Well, John Danks is just completely out of sync tonight. He's flying open too early. When a left-hander does that, he throws high and away to the right-hand hitters.
Banyan, pretty good lead down there at third. And he'd want to do that off the 9th place hitter. So that will load him up. And here's Ichiro. He singled in the first, went to second on the sacrifice bunt. He stole third. He scored on the base hit. Then he struck out in the second. Sacks packed with Mariners up high, and the count 0-1.
Threw a little tardy on that high fastball. You don't see that very often.
Pretty good pitch right there. Didn't get it. Danks just glances over into our dugout. Looks like that ball had the plate.
I think John feels that where A.J. caught it, it wasn't a strike, but it came over the plate a strike.
Softly hit. Adams going to come. Makes a bad throw. They weren't going to get Ichiro anyway, but almost pulled A.J. off the plate. So the force is on, and that's 2 out.
Wilson comes in, does a nice job here, but this throw is not exactly on the mark. A.J. doing his best imitation of a first baseman, gets the job done.
So here's Indy Chavez, the sacrifice bunt, and a ground out. Off his foot. That first game, what was the official time on that? 152?
152. That's getting it done. That's getting it and throwing it, not walking anybody, and not giving up a whole lot of hits.
Well, there were total 6 hits, 2 walks in that ball game. Total. Bobby Jenks. No, check that. 3 walks. So Bobby walked one. Letterman. Sucked it up, step on the bag, and he pitches out of it, but they pick up one more. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing 5-0.
Duck, what former Mariner manager was a National League MVP winner? And the answer, Maury Wills.
I love that duck.
Duck's a handsome duck.
Handsome duck. Handsome duck. We got to get some runs here. We trail 5-0. So a 6'3", 225-pound, 23-year-old right-hander. And there's a start. Josh just drills it. So our second hit.
First ball fastball, and that ball drifted over the inner portion. You saw Burke wanted it away. Sometimes you miss your spot, sometimes you get away with it. This time he did miss his spot, but didn't get away with it.
Carlos, he's 0 for 1. He just ripped a low, screaming Mimi out there to left field. That Valentin stayed with and made a catch. That's not a good swing. Got fooled on that one. On the curve. He will change the tilt on his curveball. And another breaking pitch in the count 0-2. You know, a hitter does not mind a guy who is true in his motion and his curveball is consistent. Either with a tilt or he calls. Oh, man. Estabrook.
Ozzie out there to make sure that Quentin doesn't get rung. And I think he just said, how come he didn't ask for help? Didn't really look like he swung, but Estabrook didn't look for help.
He did not swing, not even come close.
That bat didn't come through the zone, and I would venture to say that Tim Sheeta had a better look at it at first than did the home plate umpire Estabrook.
That's just a bad call.
You don't see Carlos arguing too much.
He had a beef there.
Yep.
No doubt about it. Tim Cheetah at first base. He's a crew chief and one of the better umpires in the game of baseball. And Jermaine doesn't like that one. Don't blame him. shakes his head. Westbrook having, so far, from our hitter's perspective, a bad night.
Not having the best of nights.
A bad night he's having. They're not going to get them all right, but that one with Carlos is not even close. But getting back to the hitters, they don't mind if a guy's, it's true, even if he has a good curveball, if it's the same tilt all the time. Now, if he's going to change speeds, that's a different animal. But when the guy will change speeds and have a different tilt, change the tilt on it. Yeah. Now you got your hands full. There they solid single. That was a breaking ball just rolling. Hernandez did not like that. He was a little upset with himself.
Well, he was ahead in the count, and he figured he was going to throw a wipeout pitch. And sometimes what happens to pitchers, and doesn't matter if you're young or old, you take that curveball and you throw it too hard. It's not a velocity pitch, it's a rotation pitch. And because he tried to get probably a little bit extra on the wipeout curveball, he left it up and out over the plate, and Jermaine took it right back up the middle.
And here's Konerko. Paulie called out on a breaking ball his first time up, and he knew it.
Back to our best hitter with runners in scoring position. He drove in the 2 runs in the first game.
2 out.
2 on. And it was 2 was enough, because that's all we got.
There's a curveball strike. Well, that's what made your curveball effective. First of all, you knew how to pitch up with a fastball in certain counts, but you changed speeds.
Yeah, I had a lot of guys, because I threw so many of them, guessing curveball, but they couldn't guess the velocity. It makes it a different game.
It's a different pitch, entirely different. It's just a totally different pitch.
Like how Greg Maddux worked with it, where he'd throw his fastball anywhere from 82 to 90. You couldn't tell that he was taking something off or putting something on.
Camilo Pascual had one of the great curveballs in the history of this game, and he was the 20-game winner for the Washington Senators, and then they moved to Minnesota. And Washington at the time was the worst team in baseball.
Nothing's changed.
They just have a different ownership. That's all. As Paulie can't get it in the count 1 and 2, but even with the great curveball he would change the tilt on more so than the speed. But he had one that almost looked like a screwball, the right-handed screwball coming up there. Would go down and in. And he had the big sweeper, and then he had that, of course, that wipeout that was just devastating. As he gets Paulie, and that's out number 2, and here comes AJ. 6 strikeouts now for Felix.
Well, Hernandez set him up with the breaking ball and then wiped him out with the fastball. Best arm in the outfield by far in right field.
One of the best in the game. And if you want to put accuracy involved in it as well, one of the best that ever played.
And one of the things that he does, and he's done it since he's come in the league, of course he was a veteran when he got here, but he sets up so well before he has possession of the baseball that he's in throwing position, and he probably takes a couple of steps away from the base runner that he normally would have with a normal outfielder who catches it and then tries to set up and make the throw.
Well, you touched on it in the first game. Everything he does is picture perfect defensively.
Well, there's a look at a quality player in every aspect of the game.
Felix turned that one over, made a good pitch, and AJ just fought it off. 2 on, 2 out, 1 and 2 the count.
Well, Josh has to get a good secondary lead at second base, because if Hernandez is going to stay away, AJ is going to hit it to left or left center.
And that's a little chopper foul.
Tried to get him with the hook, and A.J. was able to stay alive. It's up to Harold to tell Jermaine Dye if Branyan is going to sneak behind him.
The ball lined right to Ichiro. Dadgummit. That ball was scalded by A.J. Fires his helmet down. I don't blame him. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the fifth. Not good.
Dog Day is Wednesday, May 20th, presented by Hills Science Diet and Prescription Diet brand pet food at VCA Animal Hospitals. So to get your dog in game day shape, visit petfit.com and take the PetFit Challenge. Dog tickets are sold out. For regular game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. We don't want any of you basset hounds calling and complaining.
That's out of Mother's Day. That's my favorite day here.
That's just a great day.
Yes, it is. As DJ Carrasco's first pitch to Mike Sweeney. One pitch, one out. So Johnny Danks had a tough outing tonight. He can't be as sharp as he has been every time out.
And DJ comes into this one. No record, 3.48 ERA, on for the seventh time. When you're trailing Felix Hernandez by 5, no margin for error for that first guy out of the bullpen.
Beltre is 0 for 2. Takes first pitch strike. Get into a 5-4-3 double play in the first. Then he grounded to second in the third. Carrasco took a little something off that breaking ball, missed blowing away. Pretty good breaking ball to hit right there. Fortunately, just fouled it off. So the count now 1-2.
That one just stayed over the middle of the plate, and fortunately, Beltre got over the top of it.
3 for 6, 2 homers. That'll work. Almost got it by him. field. Spread out. Shifted around to the left, about equidistant. Feels way back and off the line at third. Drop down, breaking ball. And the count evens at 2. He gone.
That was a good sweeping sidearm slider that kept on moving away from Beltray. Started on the outside part of the plate. That's as good a pitch as he can throw to a pretty tough hitter.
Here's Lopez. He's 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. Alexei, easy inning right there for DJ. We're halfway home. We need 5 to tie. All right, Chuck Meister, thank you very much. First pitch to Wilson Betterman, foul back. Wilson, the strikeout victim, leading off the third inning. 5, 8 and 0 for them. 0-3 and 0 for us.
Bottom part of the order.
Sox, if you're just tuning in, one opener, 2-1 behind Bartolo Colon. Toronto leading Kansas City 2-0. That game in the top of the 4th at Kauffman Stadium. Revamped Kauffman Stadium. You've seen the pictures, I'm sure. And
looks pretty nice.
It looks like a different ballpark from the angles we see.
Well, it's never going to be easy to hit a home run there. But now it's a much better looking park than it was.
Just got a piece of it.
Hernandez has been pretty tough. He is changing speeds. He's thrown 2 types of fastballs, both equally as effective.
Right there. No argument on that one. Well, that's the thing, really. The first thing that impressed you about him the first time you see him was his ability, his fastball. Everything was plus fastball, plus curveball, plus change. And the thing, after you saw him pitch a couple times, that impressed you even more than that was his seemingly knowledge of how to pitch, changing speeds. Because we would watch the catcher's signs, you know, from the center field camera, and he'd put down fastball, and he had 2 seamers. Put down fastball, he had 4 seamers. put down a curveball, and he'd change speeds on it. So he was doing that on his own.
Well, he's had a good feel for the game for a long time. And at 23, you figure that his best years are ahead of him, and he could be scary good in the next few years.
He just turned 23.
Yeah.
The ball ripped. Nice play by Beltre. That's a hang with him right there for Alexei, who his first time up ripped a single right back through the middle.
Beltre was in a good position. He was off the line, and Alexei hits this one right on the nose. But that's a pretty good third baseman making that play.
Yeah, Felix just turned 23 on the 8th of this month. Oh, 1 the count. The bridge popped up to Beltre in the middle of the diamond. And the count 0-2. Boy, this is one guy you definitely don't want to be 0-2.
Not with that curveball hanging there and his ability to throw the ball by you if he so chooses, but he can get you out 3 or 4 different ways, all equally as effective.
I remember I had to go to Boston for they were celebrating the 40th anniversary of the '67 team when we won the pennant. That ball hit deep in the left field. Valentin is there, reaches up, hauls in another 1-2-3 inning for him. He's retired his last 5, and he leads it by 5.
Family Field Day is Saturday, May 16th. Don't miss your chance to play catch on the field at Family Field Day and shop for great White Sox memorabilia at the annual garage sale. Proceeds benefit White Sox charities. Space is limited, so for more information, visit whitesox.com.
Russell Branyan is 2 for 2. A little infield single, and that ball was hit hard there. And a broken bat double. That is not a broken bat double right there. Here's the throw. Beautiful throw by Jermaine. Meanwhile, the leadoff man at second.
Well, the Mariners took a chance that Branyan had some play left, and it's paying dividends for him. I venture to say this ball was down a little lower than DJ would have liked.
Here is Valentin. 1 for 1, a single, a run scored, and a sacrifice fly. Trying to take it to the right side.
Yeah, he was trying to do the right thing all the way.
Five 9-0 for them, 0-3-0 for us. There he goes. Well, he had that base stolen. Meanwhile, we get an out, thank goodness.
As a pitching staff, this team has to do a whole lot better at holding base runners.
We kept saying that last year.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not like that Coop and Ozzie, as the infield end, they talk continually to these pitchers about it.
I know that, and keep reminding them. I mean, Don Cooper's not going to leave anything to chance. You know, he's always in their ear talking to them about just exactly what they should do and how they should do it.
That's back through the middle, right off the end of the bat. So Branyan's going to score in a 6-0. Betancourt now 3 for 3, a 3-run homer and an RBI single.
Branyan and Betancourt pretty much been a two-man wrecking crew. With the infield in with no angles for a ground ball, they say it puts 50 points on every hitter's batting average. I venture to say that if you could hit with the infield in all the time, there'd be a few 400 hitters in this league.
Oh, there's no question about it. There might be, that being the case, it might be a couple of very severely injured infielders too. They had to play in all the time. Watch out. Jamie has struck out and walked. Yeah, you would have some guys really seriously hurt if they had to play the infield in all the time.
Well, don't forget where that pitcher winds up when he releases the baseball.
He's used to it, though.
He's 50.
I don't feel sorry for the pitchers.
Yeah. It's 55 feet away. They call a hot corner 90 feet away.
He got a running start right there. A running start.
That's elementary pitching 101, where you say, make the runner stop. Just don't let him take a walking lead.
AJ had no chance.
No. And most of the time he doesn't.
That's into right field. Betancourt's tagging. He's not going anywhere. Jermaine's going to one up. Perfect peg to Josh. 2 down. Top of the order. Here's Ichiro. He's 1 for 3. He was 0 for 4 in game 1. In this one, he led off with a single. Went to second on the sacrifice, stole third, and scored.
Well, the pitching staff has done a pretty good job of holding Ichiro down.
Want to know the count. To me, this is a no-brainer right here. Left side. Very quick release, but you're not going to get it. So now 2 men aboard on the corners. 2 out, and that'll bring up Chavez.
Ichiro just roaring out of the box. As soon as the shortstop has to move that far to his right, with Ichiro going up the line, you have 0 chance to get him even with a good throw.
First pitch strike. Chavez, that sacrifice bunt, also has hit a couple of ground balls. He's 0 for 2. 1 for 6 in the doubleheader. ball hit hard. Ryan got a good jump, makes an easy play out of it, and that'll retire the side. They pick up one more. It is 6-0 Seattle.
Text alerts and video alerts for your mobile phone. Text "Get White Sox" to 65246 to sign up now.
Ryan Anderson will lead it off. Top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Anderson, Fields, and Quentin to face Felix Hernandez. First pitch strike. Reaches out, hooks it. Beltre makes his own hop. And that's one out.
It's tough to be all that accurate when you're backing up away from the throw, but that's exactly what Beltre was doing. And he put that throw right on the money to Branyan.
Well, there was another outstanding third baseman that Beltre throws almost exactly alike most of the time, and that was Greg Nettles.
Not when he started, but he became a terrific third baseman. When he used to throw it where he caught it.
When he was with us at Cleveland, Greg, he was a butcher. Yeah. And he just worked and worked and worked and became one of the best third basemen to ever play the game defensively. Softly hit. Now, Beltre has a better arm than Puff had.
Yeah.
One of the best arms to ever play the game at third base was Aurelio Rodriguez, Chichi.
And another guy who he has since passed away, Ken Caminiti.
Had a gun.
Had a tremendous arm, threw right over the top and threw it right in the middle of the first baseman's chest just about every throw.
Kenny was a good guy.
Yep.
Did you ever play golf with him?
Nope.
That's off the end of the bat. This is going to be very quick. That is 8 in a row retired by Felix, and it is still 6-0.
Online fan club of the White Sox baseball. Members will enjoy exclusive ticketing opportunities, a 2009 game day audio subscription, and in-stadium event invite, and much more. Memberships are available now at www.soxprideclub.com.
We are not in good shape here. We trail it by 6, and they're hitting here in the top of the 7th. It'll be Sweeney, Beltre, and Lopez. Sweeney, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Ground ball. He gets it.
Here's a look at the youngster who's got everything under control.
Well, you touched on it a while ago when you've got a couple of different fastballs, two-seamer, four-seamer. You've got several different curveballs as that is high into left center field. 2 down. Beltre now 0 for 4, 0 for 8 in the series in the doubleheader. And you got a good changeup, and you're getting them all over. You should be in control.
Throwing strike 1. And that's what he's been doing. He's been getting the first pitch over the plate with whatever he's thrown.
Here's Lopez. You're just tuning in. Johnny Danks had a tough outing, his first one of the season. And this is 4th start. And that's going to happen. One and one to count to Jose Lopez, 25-year-old second baseman. This guy's underneath the radar to a lot of people. Last year hit 297, 17 homers, and drove in 89.
He's a good, solid second baseman.
He's a good player.
But those are good numbers for most second basemen.
In that ballpark?
Yeah, that's a tough place to hit the ball out of, but a great place to pitch.
He is well underneath the radar in most circles. Drop down, misses, and a full count. And he loses it. First walk issued by DJ. Second by Sox pitching tonight. And that'll bring up Russell Branyan, who is 3 for 3. A swinging bunt single, a broken bat double, and then a rocket double.
Bettman is playing behind Lopez. They're giving Lopez second base if he wants it.
And that is shot. He's 4 for 4.
That's what's been a big factor for Russell Branyan, is the fact that where he used to be a dead full hitter, it was pretty easy to defense him, and pretty easy if you threw the ball away, you pulled it to the right side. Now he's taking the ball through the left side and hitting for power to left center field.
First couple of years he was in the league, the only time he would ever hit a ball left field is if he got jammed and flared it out there.
Yeah, mistake.
Yeah,
mistake, something like that. Not these days.
Vladimir Valentin, he's 1 for 2. Breaking ball strike, he didn't like the call. And very quickly to count 0-2. Gavin Floyd against Eric Bedard tomorrow afternoon in the finale, so make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. If you can't, that game will be over WGN. And the crowd tonight on a cold evening here in the beautiful city, 25,042. High and wide. Minnesota leading Tampa Bay 3-2, top of the 7th in Minneapolis. Toronto 6, Kansas City nothing. That game in the top of the 6th at Kauffman Stadium. Pretty good breaking ball to hit right there. Upset with himself.
I think all things considered, when you look at the type of weather, the type of day, the last couple days, how it's been, this is a really good crowd tonight because it's freezing down there.
Well, I got 38 degrees on the board, but it feels a lot colder. Another good pitch to hit right there.
Well, when we started this doubleheader at 4 o'clock, it was 39 at game time. I have to believe it dropped more than a degree. Judging by most of our stalwart cameramen that are looking like Smurfs.
Oh, let me tell you, these guys can handle it. They're tough. Just got a piece of that one.
There you go.
There's Mike. Mike D'Amato. These guys are, I'm telling you, they're good. They're tough. Is that the Hoofmeister out there?
There he is.
There he is. And of course, Chillicella up here. He's just chilling out with this heater that's right by me.
Yeah, he's comfortable up here. Got the space heater. Taking his jacket off. It's getting a little too warm for him.
I tell you what, he's got more BS.
And there's Kenny.
Yeah. Chillicella. 2 on, 2 out. Now they want to have a little confab. I'll tell you, people don't really understand. Because it's not talked about enough. Certainly not from our standpoint and most broadcast team standpoint on what just a terrific job these crews do, these cameras.
Well, also what it takes.
The work is unbelievable.
Right, to get a game on.
Oh yeah.
And these guys are here way before we ever think about getting here.
They work their fannies off. Now time is called again. Ground ball in the hole, base hit. Now they're going to hold a runner as Carlos quickly gets to it. So sacks packed with 2 down. And that'll bring up Betancourt, who is 3 for 3. A 3-run homer. A couple of singles, one of those knocked in a run. So he's got his average up to 286 after coming in at 254.
We might not have been in that bad a condition if it wasn't for Branyan and Betancourt.
And let's check out our Dodge drive of the game, coming with 2 on, 1 out back in the 2nd inning.
High changeups go a long way. John just did not have it tonight.
Oh, 0-2 the count. And there's a base hit. That's going to score 1. Brian gets to it, gets back in, and it's 7-0. So the walk comes around to score.
And the two antagonists are now 8 for 8. And all this happened with 2 outs and nobody on, and started with that walk to Lopez.
As he's out, DJ will depart, and we'll be back.
Limited buffet and drink package. Patio area provides an excellent field level view of right center field with discounted tickets available for your guests. Call 312-674-1000 to order. Visit whitesox.com.
Jamie Burke takes ball 1 low and away. Yeah, of course, don't forget about those Bertucci boys out there in that patio area. Ground ball. Alexiev with it. Over to Lillibridge, and then Lewitt. One more crosses the plate. 7th inning stretch. 7-0 Mariners. Paul Konerko, A.J. Pierzynski to face Felix Hernandez here in the bottom of the 7th inning as he pours first pitch fastball strike right down the middle.
Be nice to get to this young man.
Well, you don't want to get shut out.
No, and so far he's been in control of everything.
And the count 0-2. He's been virtually 0-2, 1-2 all night long.
Well, that's been the secret, along with the great stuff that he has. If he's also getting ahead and having no control problems, you got to earn everything.
Really got away with that one. 1-0-2. And tomorrow, once again, a reminder, somebody's going to get lucky. And that game against the Mariners, somebody's going to win a bat signed by both Paul Konerko and Jermaine Dye, commemorating their recent milestone home runs. Fans that don't already have tickets can save up to $10 on tickets to tomorrow's game by entering $300 in the promotions and special offers box. And to buy tickets now, visit whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
It's a good looking bat.
A little bit of baseball history. Once again, the 0-2.
You can throw a two-seamer and a four-seamer anywhere you want to. You're going to have a night like Hernandez is having tonight.
Ollie is 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. Felix has 7. The thing that he has always impressed me is the fact that even when he first came up as a baby, he did not give me the impression that he was trying to strike guys out. He, from day one that I've seen this kid, has looked like a pitcher.
Yeah, he doesn't go after strikeouts now. He would just as soon he hit the first pitch, he's going to throw it in the zone.
Exactly.
He wants to get a one pitch out.
Which is, you know, an unusual mentality for a guy that young with that kind of stuff.
It's true, but the big strikeout pitchers wind up at 100 pitches in 5 innings, and now they get taken out of the game. And he's 23. He's able to hang around because he's not going up there using 5 and 6 pitches with every hitter.
The 1-2. And there's a base hit. Just the 4th hit we have, all singles. And that'll bring up A.J., who was 0 for 2 last time up. With a couple of guys on, he ripped a shot into right field right at Suzuki.
Paul takes that ball. It was up and doesn't try to do a whole lot with it, just takes it right into right field.
First ball fastball, and A.J. underneath it. Felix has not even come close to walking anybody. Two of the better young pitchers in the game of baseball tonight, Johnny Danks and Felix Hernandez. And Felix having an outstanding outing, and Johnny had a tough one. First time this year he has had a tough outing. Left side, nice pick right there. Ball stayed down on Beltre, and they turn it over. So we'll go to the 8th, 7-0. Hey, Chuck Garfien, thank you very much, buddy. Right here, it's the top of the 8th inning. 14-0 for them, 4-0 for us. It'll be the top of the order. As you see, Brian Anderson has moved from center to right. And J.O. in center. Ichiro 2 for 4 tonight. He also has scored a run and has a stolen base. First ball, Hunting pops it out. Stay in here. It won't. Right on top of the dugout. Bottom of the 7th, Minnesota Twins leading Tampa Bay 3-2. Bottom of the 7th in Texas, 4-4 tie with Oakland. Toronto leading Kansas City 5-1, top of the 8th. As that pitch misses high and wide, 1-1.
So Broadway getting his opportunity to establish that he can get some outs out of the bullpen.
Well, Ozzie and Kenny both are just hoping that somebody will step up. Strike on Quentin.
AJ does a nice job of blocking this one.
That's popped up. One out. Andy Chavez 0 for 3 this evening. Had a sacrifice bunt in the first. Takes a strike. Turns it over, misses low and away. Outfield about equidistant there, slightly to the left, and they're spread out. Seattle with 1 in the first, 3 in the second. 3-run homer by Unieski Betancourt. 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, and 1 in the seventh. Staying inside, evens the count at 2.
That was a good fastball. He threw it right by him, tied him up inside, couldn't get his hands out. It's in a perfect spot.
Ate him up, stayed right in there. AJ, 2 down.
AJ called for that one. Betterman was coming in, but AJ felt he had pretty good angle. And he took it himself.
That'll bring up the DH Mike Sweeney, who had an RBI single in the first. He's 1 for 4. Take strike 1. Turns that one over. Looks like that is somewhat of a new pitch for Lance.
Get a little more movement on the fastball. He's going to be in pretty good shape.
And that's laced into left field. Sweeney on his way to second. Here's the throw. Safe. So the double. One thing about Mike Sweeney, he's had all those problems, especially with the back. But when the time does come, then Mike Sweeney hangs it up and retires. He's going to have nothing but fond memories of the great game of baseball, because he is a guy that gave 100% each and every day he put that uniform on.
And he did it for a lot of teams that weren't particularly good, which is one of the most difficult things you can do over the long haul.
Yes, sir. He has been an asset to his profession. That ball hit hard. Knocked down by Brent. Now, that's exactly what you're supposed to do in that situation. Beltre picks up his first hit of the series. He's 1 for 9. $16 hits now for Seattle.
Pretty good effort by Lillibridge. He can't find the ball right away, but because it's underneath him, Sweeney can't advance. That ball looked like it was going into right center field for a run scoring single.
Jose Lopez is 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a couple of runs scored. Top of the third out in Phoenix. Cubs leading the D-backs 3-0. That's into left center field, and that's going to split it. So one more crosses the plate. It's 8-0.
Lopez with his second hit drives in his 13th run. And again, all this starting with 2 outs and nobody out.
Well, for a second baseman, you know, everybody for the most part in this league talks about, when you talk about second baseman, you're talking about Dustin Pedroia and you're talking about Brian Roberts and everything. Just check out the numbers of Jose Lopez. As there's another base hit. Mannion is 5 for 5. Another one crosses the plate. All coming with 2 out, nobody on.
And here comes Don Cooper. He wants to have a word with Lance Broadway. I'm not sure how many times Russell Brandon has had a 5 for 5 night. I'm pretty sure you can count them on one hand and maybe just 2 small fingers.
This is Lopez's 4th full year. He's only 25 years old. His first full year, he had 282, 10 homers, and knocked in 79. As a youngster. Next year, he had 252, 11 homers, and drove in 62. Then last year, 297, 17 homers, and drove in 89.
It's pretty good.
That ball hit deep. Carlos back. He's there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. They pick up a pair, and after 7.5, it's 9-0. Alexi Ramirez and Brent Lillibridge here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Felix Hernandez has been very dominant in this game. If you missed the first game, Bartolo Colon and Chris Jacobakis, they were outstanding. Bartolo picked up his second victory, going 7 innings, giving up 1 run unearned. And there's a little ground ball, sounding like a broken bat. Bartolo gave up 4 hits, 1 walk, had 6 strikeouts. Jacobakis, I don't think I've ever seen this before. He went 8 innings. He retired the side in order 7 times. The only inning that we had base runners was in the 4th with 1 out, a walk to Josh Fields, a single by Carlos Quinton, and then with 2 out, a 2-run double by Paul Konerko. So he retired 24 of the 27 hitters that he saw.
And he's one of the oldest rookies around at 29, but he had great stuff. Gave up just the 2 hits. It was just 1 too many.
Next day's 1 for 2. He's hit the ball extremely hard both times. Well, way back when the Giants had a 29-year-old rookie that came up, it was a sensation. His name was Jack Sanford.
He went on to have a pretty good career.
Yes, he did. I faced Jack. And Jack was not afraid to give you a little chin music.
Probably taking it all out for all those years he spent in the minor leagues trying to get there.
Yeah. Two and two the count. Had him out in front, fooled just a bit. Betancourt just does get him 2 down.
Betancourt gets it over there. Credit Ramirez, even in a blowout game, he hustles up the line to put the pressure on the infielders.
Lillibridge has popped up to third and flied out. That's up high. And the count 2-0. Three and 0. This is the closest that the youngster has. He has no walks this evening.
Well, the bullpen is up and going. You just wonder how long Wakamatsu is going to go with Hernandez with this game in hand.
And that's ball 4.
Roy Corcoran throwing in the pen.
First pitch to Bryan is taken for a strike. Bryan's 0 for 3. Twice he's gone out to third. And very quickly the count 0-2. Eighth inning in Cleveland. Boston and the Indians are tied at 8.
2 pretty good lineups going head to head in that series.
And that'll do it. We're into the 9th. 9-0. There. For 4 with 5 RBIs, 3 of them coming on a home run. Takes first pitch strike from Lance Broadway. Well, we got Ranyon at 5 for 5. Betancourt at 4 for 4. 9 runs on 18 hits. No errors for Seattle. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for our White Sox.
The way they went to congratulate Felix Hernandez, it looks like it's going to be it for him.
Lance has got plenty of time. Bobbles the ball. That'll be an error.
Went to pick it up. Never had control.
No, he had plenty of time. Just muffed it. And here's Jamie Burke, who's 0 for 3. But one thing about it, as Corky Miller did in the first game with Bartolo, got Bartolo in a rhythm and kept him in it. Same thing that Jamie has done for Felix Hernandez here. Got that big, strong right-hander in a rhythm and kept him in it. That's what AJ does so well. That's the first responsibility of a catcher.
And the one thing a catcher can't do is ever take his bat behind the plate with him, because he's got to control the game and work his pitcher through the game.
Well, you threw to one of the best, I'll tell you that. And as high-strung and as temperamental as he was, he didn't let those 0 for 4s bother him behind the plate.
No, I don't think he really cared about that. I mean, he had pride in the fact that he could hit, and he stayed around 24 years as proof. But Rick Dempsey was a guy that gave you everything he had when he went behind the plate. It didn't matter. He could be on an 0 for 15 streak. It wouldn't matter.
Right. And there's a base hit. So Jamie Burke picks up his first. Well, the first responsibility, as I mentioned, that a catcher has to have is finding, and this is from a Hall of Famer and other catchers that I have talked to over the many years. Gabby Hartnett said you've got to find your pitcher's rhythm, get him in it, and keep him in it. I don't care what happens, keep him in that rhythm. Then if you can also make his second best pitch an out pitch, now you're probably going to get yourself a good performance. Here's Ichiro. He's 2 for 5. all you young catchers out there, if you make a mistake with them, if you make a mistake with those pitchers, it's got to be because they're working a little too fast. You can always slow them down, but it is very tough to get somebody to speed up if they want to work slow that day. If they're having trouble, though, they have a better chance of finding a rhythm and finding the strike zone by working fast and too slow.
In the first game, Rob Johnson did that with Jacobowskis.
Yes, he did. We've had some good caught games in this doubleheader. And that's always nice to see.
Provide your guests with the ultimate baseball experience in the Jim Beam Club. This all-inclusive premium seating area located behind home plate features a Levy Catering pregame buffet, open bar, in-seat food and beverage menu, plus premium reserve parking and much more. For more information, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/Jim Beam Club.
Chavez 0 for 4. Can't get it, and the count 0-1.
And to this point, he is the only guy in this lineup that's been held hitless.
That's poked out into short center field. 2 down. It's amazing over the years that you and I have been around. You see catchers come to the big leagues. They're eager to get the job done. All of a sudden they go out and they start hitting a few home runs and knocking in some runs. And it seems like as their offense goes up, their catching goes down.
Well, they're going to pay you if you can hit. But most guys take such a beating back there and have so many other responsibilities. It's difficult to do both. Of course, your guys that made it into the Hall as catchers, and you look at Pudge Fisk, obviously, Gary Carter, guys that could play the offensive part of the game and not lose anything defensively.
That ball into right field. Anderson is there. He'll make the catch, and that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We need a whole bunch just to get back in it.
.704 on for the 8th time. He's in relief of Felix Hernandez, who was brilliant through 8. Limiting the Sox to just 4 hits. They really couldn't do anything with him, and only one time did they even mount a semblance of an attack, and that was in the 4th inning. But then Hernandez just reached back, got another gear, and got out of it.
That's the only inning we had 2 runners on in the same inning. So it'll be Josh Fields, Carlos Quentin, and Jerry Owens. schedule hitters. Josh is 1 for 3. Outfield spread out. First pitch taken low and away. Two 2-0. And once again, a reminder, finale of this 3-game set and this homestand tomorrow. It'll be Gavin Floyd against Eric Bedard. Can't make it to the ballpark? Then that game will be over WGN as you check out our Falco upcoming schedule and an off day on Thursday. Then it's off to Texas for 3, Kansas City for 2 before returning home for a brief homestand. Ground ball. Russell playing it off to the side a little bit. Had a chance to get in front, but ball took a little bit of a funny hop on it.
Well, we'll see what official score comes up with. And it goes as a base hit. So Josh is 2 for 4. That one hits off of Brannion's glove.
And here is Carlos. He's 0 for 3. Takes ball 1. That's into right center field. Ichiro off with the crack of the bat. Makes an easy play out of it. What a graceful athlete.
He's another guy that just seems to glide to the ball. Gets a good jump. Just goes under it.
I've seen some great right fielders in the past. He is right there with any of them.
And when there is a throw to be made, he'll catch that ball on the right side of his body, not on the left side, and then have to drag it across to be able to put it in his throwing hand and deliver it.
He does everything
right.
You could put a video of Ichiro Suzuki playing defense in the outfield and put it in a time capsule. There's a shank going foul, just foul. Jerry making his first plate appearance. Jermaine was 1 for 3 tonight. Got a solid single back up the middle. Talking about Ichiro, how about the right field that Jermaine Dye has played this year and every year? As that slicing foul.
Well, Jermaine has made at least 3, possibly 4 catches where just as soon as the ball hits his glove, he smashes right into the wall.
Jermaine's not afraid of the wall. And the thing, he's got a terrific arm out there. But because of a right fielder like a Suzuki, he's got so much speed and everything is right. Mostly that's all you hear about when you talk about right field. That's inside, 2-2. So a full count to Owens with Paul Konerko on deck. Bottom of the 9th inning. 1 on 1 out. 9-19-0 for Seattle. 0-5-1 for our Sox. Sox took game 1 of this doubleheader 2-1. So Seattle trying to up their record to 13-8. Sox trying to keep from going to 10-10. And that's ball 4. You don't want to get shut out. Come on, Paulie. Get yourself a knock right here. Knocking it right. Raleigh is 1 for 3, single to right field his last time up. And there's a shot base hit. They're going to wave Josh around, and we get on the board. Owens into third, and Paulie picks up RBI number 18.
And another base hit with a runner in scoring position for the team leader in that department. That ball settled back over the plate. Ball takes it right back up the middle. He's now hitting at or above 500 with runners in scoring position.
That'll work.
That'll work is right.
So here's AJ looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3. Right back to the pitcher, and this ball game is over. So the Mariners